Hello, hello, and welcome to the Friday Reset. What I'd like to talk about today is connecting with our loved ones in spirit. There's a lot of talk you hear about, I will meet you again someday. I can't wait till we meet again. Hopefully, when we meet again, we can work out all the things that we still needed to work through. Or maybe, I just have to wait until the time comes that I die and then I will see them again. And I believe this is an outdated notion. So, for those of you who don't know me, my name is Lori Parente. I'm an intuitive guide, a medium, a spiritual mentor, and it's really my passion to help people connect to not only their soul light, but also to the light of those in spirit, their people, their angels, their mentors, their guides. And I think it's very important to start to be curious about when someone passes, how our relationships continue. Of course, they're different. And of course, many times when someone dies, it's very difficult for us, and it's very, very life-changing. It's like life before and life after. And when we can come to a place where we're starting to feel like, I think that I can put one foot in front of the other and I can breathe and it's going to be okay, because sometimes even those things are very, very difficult, and I understand that. But when we can get to a point where we can get curious about, okay, so where are they now? And I can go to a medium and I can talk to a medium. And one thing that I've heard throughout the years is people will say, I don't want to go talk to a medium because I'm going to hear from them and then it's going to feel like I've lost them all over again. So one of the things that I'm very conscious about is, yes, I can bring through messages, and that can help you to see what's possible, because they will often validate things that, no one else could know, so it's them. Then I can also teach you how to connect with them yourself. And this is so important because we don't have to wait. We can work out the things in our relationship right now, and we can get beyond our human constructs, our human behaviors, our human experiences, and we can get to the point where we are connecting now soul light to soul light, and there's so much that can be done to walk into this new phase of our relationship. So as difficult as it is that now they're not here, they're no longer earthbound, I can still have a relationship with them. I can still learn from them. I can still connect with them. I can still feel their love, feel their energy. And also I can work out the things that maybe weren't great in our relationship, or the things that I didn't get a chance to do. And what I find is when people really get to the point where they can do this on their own, which isn't as hard as it sounds, it changes their perspective on their relationships. It changes their perspective on death, which, what is our number one fear? Death. What happens after this? Well, when we have spoken to our people and had experiences with our people, we have a much broader sense of what happens after this human life completes. So I feel that it changes people's perspective on death, which really takes away a lot of the fear that we hold. And it also changes our perspective on life, on how we interact, on how we walk with people, on how we communicate. And I can say personally that when my mom died when I was in my 20s, it was years and years of deep grief, until that first time that I really connected with her on my own. Of course, she'd come through in dreams and she'd come through with signs, but when I really connected with her energy and I saw us light to light, that changed my grief. And so anytime that, I'm getting up there close to 60, and there's been a lot of people in my life who have died, but anytime that they have died, I have such a deep sense of peace, because I know where they are. I have a sense of where they are. I have a sense of connection. Does that mean that I wouldn't want them back? Well, maybe just for one more minute. But I hear people say, if I could just have one more hug, if I could just have one more minute. Well, when you feel their energy surround you, it's a hug like none other. And when you start to communicate with them, it's communication like none other. It's very, very all-encompassing, very loving, very unconditional knowing and sensing and wisdom. So I want us to change our perspective. I want everyone to know that we can communicate, that definitely we can go to a medium and get messages, and maybe that helps us to begin, but also that we can do this on their own. And that we can be the ones who start it, not waiting for a dream, not waiting for a sign, but saying, hey, I'm ready to connect. I understand. Maybe I'm a little bit scared. Maybe this is kind of like a little woo-woo for me, but I'm curious. So, just change perspective. Get a little curious and see what happens. So I hope this helps. I wish you big love, huge hugs, and we'll chat soon.